In this video, I'm breaking down the complete AI avatar business model that's helping me and other entrepreneurs scale to six figures without needing to code or have a technical background. By the way, this is a repost of a podcast episode from Leah Motley's channel. He's a seven-figure AI entrepreneur who's built several successful businesses and now helps other people do the same. He was my mentor around 2 years ago when I was one of the first couple people to join his program, and I absolutely owe so much to him for helping me get to where I am today. In this conversation, I sit down with Liam and pretty much break down my entire journey from where I started to where I am now, making $30K per month, selling this AI avatar solution to business owners. By the end of this video, you're gonna know the exact 4 high-value AI avatar solutions that you can sell right now, the exact model to actually build a productized system to delivering this service without drowning in fulfillment, and the exact roadmap from being a complete beginner making $0 to hitting 10K, 25K, 50K, and 100K per month and beyond. This is honestly one of the most untapped AI solutions in the market right now, and it is so underhyped and undervalued. So while everyone is trying to sell complex AI automation solutions, voice receptionists, and end-to-end chatbots that don't actually deliver value without hours and hours of effort, this is an entirely brand new market that's starting to pick up very quickly. So without wasting more time, let's get into it.
Ash, mate, thank you for coming on, and I'm really excited to get into it.
Yeah, Liam, I appreciate you having me on. I pretty much cooked up this entire board just to break down how to actually monetize with AI avatars. I want to just first break down what an AI avatar actually is. So just at the highest level, an AI avatar is essentially any AI-powered digital version of a human, right? It could be real, fictional. You've probably interacted with them already online, and it can essentially act, speak, or interact on your behalf. And the easiest way to explain how an AI avatar works is you need an image, a video, and audio. You can use all three or just two of the three components, and then you can come up with this AI avatar. So you can see a couple examples here. For example, this is like an AI character avatar. These are two of my own AI avatars. And then there's also professional avatars of existing professional actors and whoever, which you could probably use as like stock avatar. Now, in terms of actually implementing it, there's a bunch of different use cases. And so I wanted to break down some of the most popular ones just to see, what opportunities actually exist and how you can implement this. The first one would be faceless content. I'm sure you've seen on YouTube especially, or even on Instagram and TikTok, people posting this faceless content of random avatars or characters, just pretty much talking about whatever. Super cool, interesting, but, from a monetization standpoint, probably not the best opportunity. Another one is e-learning and training. This is more internal. So large businesses, they have massive HR and training portals. And so in order to create content for that, it takes a lot of money for studio setup, actors, and, setting everything up. Whereas with an AI avatar, you can quickly deploy these e-learning and training guides. Another use case would be social media. So this is obviously me and my AI avatar. You can use AI avatars for social media content, right? For Instagram content in the short form side, or even YouTube content on the long form side. That way, if you're trying to create content, but just don't have the time to record, or don't have the right setup, or even don't like being in front of camera all the time, you can essentially use an AI avatar to replace that process for you, and then use the AI avatar to actually generate and create that content. Another one is interactive agents. This one I haven't seen too much of, but I know it's a growing industry. It's pretty much where you can have these interactive agents that your customers can talk to for customer service. Or for example, in let's say a course or a coaching program, you can have an interactive agent that interacts with the customers to answer questions or do whatever you need. So that's more of a dynamic AI avatar, but pretty cool use case as well. Another one is product demos or outreach. Let's say you're a SaaS company that's trying to send out hundreds of product demos, but want to customize the outreach to each of the leads that you're working with. You can use an AI avatar to customize the message and the demo so that you're able to send out messages and do marketing to large groups of people without having to be the bottleneck. The final one, which I love and I've seen growing crazy on TikTok, is virtual UGC influencers, right? So especially in the world of e-commerce, UGC is everything. I mean, I'm part of an e-commerce brand as well. It's like a fashion brand called the Urban Indian. We use UGC influencers all the time. And so being able to scale that using AI avatars is an incredibly powerful tool.
Each of these is a massive, massive use case, or like almost like a whole industry in its own, like faceless content, like short form social media content, the e-learning and training one's massive. So that's what really excites me about avatars, is just how many different ways it can be used. So I think if you guys are wanting to figure out any good business opportunities, then this is definitely a place that is ripe for disruption. But like a lot of these existing use cases are ripe for disruption with this technology. So let's get into the rest of it.
The way I see it, the opportunity is essentially leveraging this AI avatar system, right? Knowing how to use existing technology that allows you to create AI avatars, right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's so many powerful, tools out there that allow you to create AI avatars, whatever it may be, and build a service-based agency or an AI agency that allows you to deliver these systems to business owners. And I think it's one of the most wildly profitable opportunities out there because video and media is becoming such a massive demand, right? Especially social media and some of these opportunities I'll get into. Like AI avatars are the key to systemizing and scaling media.
I think it's a classic case of this incredible thing now exists, and businesses want it in some form. They just don't know how to get it. And like the agency is the bridge, as it's always been. So you got to come in with the know-how and sort of the strategy on how to implement the stuff, but also the ability to execute on it and roll it out for them in a system that actually. And I mean, more and more, what I'm realizing with a lot of AI services, it's like a third of it is the development and the setup, and then there's like the majority of it is actually the refinement and optimization in order to get the results. So say the stuff we're going to go into in a second is like the iterative loops of like, okay, well that didn't work, but that did. Let's like feed more of that back into it. And once you've got that dialed in, I think very few companies are willing to grit their teeth to go through that pain. So I'd be interested to see how you've dealt with that.
With any, business opportunity, it's like you have a skill set that these business owners who have lots of money but not enough time want your
Yeah.
skills for, right? So if you understand how to leverage technologies, build these AI avatars, and then offer that as a service to business owners, I mean, it's pretty untapped. I think what could be important now is really breaking down some of the top opportunities that I've seen work in the industry and in this world of AI avatars. And the one that I think is really the golden egg, golden goose opportunity for anyone looking to get started. The first one that I've seen work really well is customized video outreach. So the way it works, super simple, right? You want to essentially create personalized videos for each prospect, use the prospect's names, company, pain points, information on their website to personalize these outbound pitches. You can scale it to hundreds of personalized videos daily and then integrate it with their existing CRM for automated follow-ups or messaging. The way that you can monetize this is usually with a setup fee, right? So you're essentially building some sort of automation, you can templatize and then customize it for their use case. And then you can charge per booked call. So every qualified call you get, you can charge, $100. And then you can also have a monthly management of around $250 or $500 a month to, maybe adjust the copywriting or messaging, or a new product came out and you want to adjust the, automation. Super simple build. It's really just having this video API, right, on HeyGen or Tavis. And so you can use these video APIs, connect it to an automation, for example, n8nmake.com, to use these APIs, get the information of the prospect's name, company, whatever you're trying to personalize, send out the pitches, and then track it in the CRM, for example, Go High Level or whatever CRM, right? HubSpot. The pros are that I would say it's probably the highest revenue potential per client, right? Because you're charging per lead. So if you're getting good results for your clients, you will get paid well, right? And it's a very clear ROI to sell. I think one of the biggest things in the world of like AI and AI automation is that sometimes saving time is a hard ROI to sell unless they are a sophisticated business owner. But telling someone, hey, you pay me and I will make you more money and get you more qualified appointments, it's a very clear ROI, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest pros with this. Cons, I would say it's definitely saturated with SaaS tools or SDRs that are already doing this, right? There's already tools that allow you to do this and they definitely work. They have their own benefits and, withdrawals, but I'd say that's one of the cons in terms of like, there's already cheaper solutions out there. It's harder to charge more for a customized solution. And I also think it requires a bit of deep sales knowledge to actually be credible to sell this.
I think interesting thing about this and probably all the other ones that you're going to mention, the acquisition side is obviously like a lot more attractive, much clearer ROI for business. You get more meetings. That's something that can very like viscerally understand. Like they see it on the calendar, like it's either there or it's not, rather than like time saving being a bit wishy washy. So I always see it as you can have these kind of like lead or like rock star offers, which are super attractive, and you can lead with these. And if you wanted to sort of upsell them on more generic automations afterwards, then you can definitely do that. If you want to increase sort of the like lifetime value of that customer. It's also interesting that these acquisition systems are very good from a offer and operation standpoint, because they are you can essentially set them up external to the business, or like minor integrations as you've done here. Say with the content thing, that's a whole engine you can set up and run all the posts. If you tried to productize or have a niched offer that was something much deeper into the business, there's so much more variance between even businesses in a given niche. So these ones are quite nice. I think the lowest hanging fruit are these. I have this system that can largely sit kind of outside. I will like source the leads. I will enrich them myself. I will send out these with with the automation platform, and then anything that happens, I'll just update the CRM for you, and that should be a pretty minimal integration. And so this goes for all niched offers. I think the people are looking at is, can you find one? There's going to be more competition for it, of course, but these things are relatively easier if you can keep them kind of separate and be say like an acquisition system like this.
I think you call it like being a transformation partner, right? Is one of the verbiages you've used. And I think some of these like AI avatar opportunities are really good entry points. And then as you build trust, as you generate leads, you kind of do the back end. And I think that's something that I do with my agency as well, is like my core offer is what I'm going to get into with the AI avatars. But then as we build trust with the client, we're like, hey, we see that you have this problem here. We could build something for you, and kind of dive deeper into that back end once we built that initial trust.
Yeah, I understand.
So I think going to the second opportunity is very similar, right? It would be UGC avatars for marketing campaigns. So you essentially create diverse avatar influencers. You can generate product reviews, testimonials, these UGC types of, educational videos. You can rapidly A/B test creatives and angles for this kind of UGC content, and then maintain the brand consistency under, having these product placements or whatever it may be. In terms of monetization, there's really two main options, right? It'd be a video package where you're like, hey, I'll give you 30 videos for $3,000, or a monthly retainer where you're kind of on for long term and you're like, hey, every month I'll give you 20 videos of UGC avatars creating content. I think the pros are that there's less competition because it's a newer concept. People don't really know about it or that it's a thing. And it's actually one of the easiest things to fulfill, right? These existing tools like synthetic UGC, even Sora, Arc Ads, they're tools that all you do is put in a prompt, use their existing avatars, and you can out content very, very quickly, right? There's nothing advanced you need to do. And then you can use something like Notion or Monday.com for content management to organize and create a better strategy. I think the cons is because it's a newer concept, it makes it a bit harder to sell to traditional businesses that may not be as understanding of this technology. And I would say the results are a little bit harder to measure than direct sales or, booking sales calls or something like that.
So are you letting them know that it's AI? Or are you saying, I've got a bunch of models and we'll get you the content? Or are you saying, hey, look, we're going to undercut your competitors. You don't need to work with an agency or anything, like a talent agency. We're just going to give you like a much cheaper access and faster access to these UGC models that you need.
I think the way I approach it is like I let the client know what's going on, and the client can choose to, have that as a disclaimer or not. Something that actually, like, there's two companies or two SaaS companies that are like Series B, Series C companies that I've worked with on this similar thing. What we've done is essentially create a UGC avatar account that is external to the actual brand. And so whatever the UGC avatars are saying is not directly related to or affiliated with the brand. So they can be a little more open with their messaging. So
Right.
they can test more controversial angles,
Yeah.
hooks, and whatever it may be without liability on the company.
Hmm.
And so
Interesting.
that's kind of a good it's a good win there as well. And like these companies have reached out to me about it. And so like it's a very
Wow.
clear indicator of like, hey, this is something companies are looking for.
Interesting. Okay. What's the
Yeah.
third one?
And I think going to the next opportunity, this one is a great one. It definitely just takes a lot of effort. It's HR training videos and course material. So how it works, you're essentially converting existing training manuals that may be old, outdated, to more dynamic, engaging video manuals or training. It could even just be text documents that you're creating that don't exist yet for HR training new hire training, course materials for like a coaching program, whatever it may be. You can create interactive scenarios. You can also do multi-language support for global teams. Let's say you have a video version of this training modules, you want to translate it to a different country, you can easily translate. And then you can also update content without having to go to the studio again, reshoot, and do all of that logistical mess. This one, the monetization, like it's great. Um, you can do course creation, so like 15,000 for a 45 video course. This is something that I've specifically sold, but I probably won't again because it's such a nightmare.
Yeah.
You have the patience for it. I mean, it's a nice bag, so I definitely think it's good.
Yeah.
Or you can do an annual contract where it's like you have like a training guide or new hire training management that you want, and just get them locked in a year contract where you'll dynamically update every time
Yeah.
new information happens, whatever it may be.
This is a great example of, compared to the other ones where it's more directly facing like acquisition and helping them get more customers. This one's like, oh, it'll help your team be trained better. It like will save you time on creating training materials. And it just feels like a lot less tangible. Of course, it's very real time savings, but naturally it's a bit harder to uh, show the value of it, especially when there's going to be so much involvement of them of like, okay, I need to train the avatar, all of this stuff. And like how much of an importance are companies on average putting on their team training? It's like, well, we've got the docs, so is it worth 50K a year? There's got to be someone who's made a platform that's specifically for like creating courses with AI where you can add, it's like it's taking the avatar stuff and building it not just into a Synthesia platform or a HeyGen, but where it's like AI course creation where you create your avatar, put it in, it can like help research there's got to be that out there somewhere by now, right?
I would say Colossian's probably the closest thing to that, which is why I included that there. Synthesia, HeyGen, they're really good for like the video generation side, but the editing part is kind of where you're going to need third party help. So it's
Okay.
kind of like what you mentioned, right? It's the most stable and the outcomes are very clear of what you'll get, but it's like people don't want to justify paying for that because it's hard to see the direct
Yeah.
return on investment. Also put in cons, like it's just a boring niche. Like obviously
Yeah.
boring businesses, they
Yeah.
make a lot of money, but it's just hard to create exciting content and
Yeah.
just love what you do, which is like, why else would you run a business? You
Yeah.
want to make a lot
If
of
you could
money.
pick anything, right? Like,
And also another con is like it's mainly for like corporate and enterprise. So if you're a beginner that doesn't have the best connections, like it might be difficult unless you have massive connections to like C-suite at massive enterprise companies. It's going to be hard to find and source leads for this sort of.
yeah. Are we going to get to the point where someone could create a course fully and kind of people are okay buying it? Like, are the avatars going to be that good that you could buy someone's course and it's largely been like, say you took all of YouTube's videos, you like took all the transcripts, you sort of dug through them and got some sort of a curriculum laid out, and then you use AI to generate the avatars. That could be an interesting service because that's like creating a whole new product for someone rather than like replacing training materials. It's like I'll create you like an info product based off your IP. So I think that could be an interesting angle to take that.
Yeah, no, I love that you said that because there's one client and one client only that we have done exactly that for. So we essentially he's a large creator, has like 200K YouTube, 200K or 300K across Instagram. Took all of his YouTube, took all of his podcast transcripts and videos and created like exactly this, right? A 45 video course and created a brand new info offer because he used to be doing one-on-one kind of, he had a one-on-one offering. We then switched to this group kind of course info program. So definitely a massive opportunity there, but it's just so tedious. Like making
Yeah.
the video course for him has been
Yeah.
an absolute pain.
And you kind of need like the animations on top as well, right? I think those are
Yeah.
kind of coming. I saw HeyGen has had some of those like they can kind of start to animate like some video if you give it
Yeah.
like some content, it'll like animate it in like a
Yeah.
YouTube video style.
Yeah, and it's paying a lot of money for editors to mask out the moments where the AI looks fake because it's a
Yeah,
15-minute video, right? So we
yeah,
want to keep it engaging.
yeah,
And I think that's why it leads to opportunity four, which is the one that I've chosen and has been the most profitable for me, which is social media marketing content, right? The way it works is super simple. You want to clone a business owner or an influencer and make an AI avatar of them. You want to then create daily content or recurring content without requiring them to film. And you want to do this while maintaining their authentic voice, personality. And the best thing that you can do with it is really scale it across multiple platforms and just have a content production capability for them at all times whether they're sick, they're busy, they're traveling, they have this avatar and they have this system in place to pump out content consistently. It's very unique in the monetization. You can have a setup fee, right, to actually set up the AI avatar, create it for them, do all of the strategy behind the actual marketing, and then have a monthly retainer to post content recurringly for them. So this could be the $3,000 per month to $6,000 per month. And then have video packages as well, right? For example, they want like 10 YouTube videos or they want 30 short form videos. You can do one-off packages that you just build and deliver to them at a time. So very unique monetization system. Pros, I'd say definitely high lifetime value with recurring revenue. Once you get someone stuck on the AI avatars, they are just so like they love it so much and they know that they don't have to sit in front of a camera that they just want to keep working with you, especially if you know how to, use the systems properly, right? And it's also easy to sell in my opinion. It's There's a clear industry demand. Every single person is trying to build on social media. They know that having a personal brand is one of the most high leverage things you can do, and you can get a return on investment. Another really fun part of this opportunity is that the system usually sells itself. So if you're using social media marketing content for using an AI avatar for your own agency,
Yeah.
that's usually going to attract leads for you anyway, who then see the system that you use to get them on the sales call. And they're like, I just want whatever you're using right
Yeah.
now.
When you can line them up like that, where your product is also how you market yourself,
It's
you get to work on the product as well as marketing yourself better. So
that's a huge one.
it saves so much time without having to like work on them separately. They're overlapping.
I think cons, right? Obviously, I'm going to be biased because I love this opportunity, but I'm going to be objective with the cons as well. It definitely requires a bit of marketing and copywriting skills. AI is absolutely incredible, but I don't think it's 100% there. So just understanding a little bit about marketing, you don't need crazy experience, right? You just need to understand the basics of marketing. And I think being able to do this would be super easy. The other cons is that clients expect ongoing content. So it's not really like a build and release and then have a management, which,
Yeah.
other AI automation systems, it's a lot of heavy upwork or upfront work and then it's management after. Whereas this, it's more of a recurring cycle, which obviously leads to recurring revenue. And I would say kind of execution wise, you have the AI avatar generators. We use HeyGen plus 11 Labs and then like lip sync tools if we need. Use Notion for content management and then distribute across social media. So breaking down exactly how I do this, right? I would definitely say starting out, just understand the offer, right? The problem statement and solution that I like to say is essentially business owners don't have time to record content consistently, but require a personal brand or social media brand to build credibility and generate leads for their business, right? That's really the biggest problem that we're trying to solve. And so the solution is going to be building this AI avatar and content system that allows them to post content consistently and grow their personal brand. I use this system myself, right? So you can see a little bit of, my brand and my page. I'm posting content like super viral content about like news, like Apple stole $115 billion from Google, random things, and then also more educational content like how to scale your brand, right? How to create 30 videos in one day. So it's essentially just using this system to post content consistently every single day. And I've been able to grow my pages using this system along with posting my own videos as well. In terms of marketing, when you're first starting out with this offer, there's kind of three main ways or three main methods that you want to use for marketing, right? The first one is going to be the warm outbound, literally just creating a list of all of your friends, family, coworkers, whoever it may be, making a massive list of them and messaging every single person, right? I know this is like Hermosi preaches this on like how to get your first couple of clients. And it's really like your first three clients are in your network, right? So I'd definitely say that is the first way to get it. I'd say the second way would be cold outbound. This is more of like a brute force method, right? To actually getting your first couple clients. Send personalized DMs. I would definitely say like Instagram and YouTube, the places where people are. Something I did to get some of my first like 5 or 6 clients with cold outbound was I would find people on Instagram that had like pretty solid personal brands, but they hadn't posted in like 2 or 3 weeks or even 2 or 3 months. And so I went to their page, I looked at the last time they posted, and I was like, sent them a personalized video on Instagram DMs. And I was like, hey, I see that you have a solid personal brand, but you haven't posted in 2 months. Like, is it just because you're too busy or you don't have time to record content? And then essentially just call them out respectfully and
Mm.
offer the solution. And so that was absolutely killer. I'd also use this kind of pattern interrupt and I'd be like, hey, I had a weird question. Can I clone you with AI and post content for you every single day so you don't have to worry about recording videos? That, like, so many people DM me and they're literally like, that is one of the best like outbound hooks messages I've ever gotten. So definitely a good one. Don't be like everyone else. If you can just personalize it, find something unique, and have an extreme pattern interrupt that gets the prospect actually interested, I mean, you're going to do well. I'd say warm outbound, have those convos, get those coffee chats. Cold outbound, send these messages on the same social platforms, especially to people that like aren't posting content consistently or have existing brands that haven't posted in a while. The third one would be organic content. Obviously, if you're trying to sell this system, you should just use it for yourself, right? That way you'll get better at actually delivering the system, understanding how to create the content, and just become a better marketer so you can deliver better to your clients. I mean, that's how I started. That's how I got some of my first clients as well. On top of these warm outbounds and cold outbounds, was just passively working on making the product and offer better by posting my own content. Now, once you kind of dial in on this, I mean, volume, right? Just put in volume, don't give up. As long as you are putting your message out there, you will get these clients. When I first started, right, and when anyone's first starting out trying to sell this, I definitely would recommend doing a 2-call close, right? Even though you're pretty much selling the same product, it's going to help build your sales skills by making the first call like a low pressure discovery, right? Understand like what is the current situation? What is the desired situation that you're trying to be in? What are some of the biggest pain points that are stopping you from getting to your desired situation? And what are some ROI metrics? For example, like the amount of videos that you're posting or amount of leads that you're trying to generate that you can then use in the proposal. This is going to be super easy because all you're doing is having a conversation, right? You're not pitching them. The prospect is also dropping their resistance. They're going to be more open to sharing like their pain points, their desired outcomes. Do that discovery and then build a proposal for them. I definitely like doing the proposal on the second call and also closing on that second call. If you don't have the invoice, they didn't close, right? And
Yeah.
so having that first call with the low pressure discovery, collecting as much ammo and information as possible to then build a really good proposal and have objection handling material on the second call is the best way to go about it as a beginner so you can improve your sales skills without feeling pressured or feeling salesy to close them on one single sales call.
Interesting. And then how are you filling it? You got your
Yeah.
how you doing?
Fulfillment, I broke it down pretty simple. I mean, there's a lot here, but AI can handle 90% of this. I like to break down into like 4 kind of phases. The first phase would be the AI avatar, right? So, hey Jen, use for the video avatar. You need 2 to 5 minutes of video footage. And then from the client, upload that to Hey Jen, hop on like a consent uploading call where they essentially give consent
Yeah.
to and make sure you in your contracts as well of like usage rights. Hey, I'm only using this for business material.
How easy have you found for, because I've made advertising myself before, and the amount of like retries and like, I mean, I'm a YouTuber. I'm like confident in front of the camera. I'm very familiar with cameras and lighting and all this stuff. And it still took like many, many, many iterations until we got like one that I was really happy with. So how have you found that going, like a point of friction going to your clients and saying, hey, you need to have like good lighting. You need to put the camera in this angle. You need to like, you have to be very specific about how you speak and the hand movements. Like it's a very specific way of recording these. So how do you get over that?
Yeah, I think the biggest things of when I was starting and trying to figure it out was, like I said, right, using it for my own organic content. So I just spent a lot of time figuring out, I would say, testing my own lighting, my own cameras, my own like hand movements, gestures, different things to dial in on how I want to do it for clients. And then in terms of getting clients to do it correctly, I think it's just documentation, right? I had very clear communication and documentation on how to create the video avatar. right? So I would say, hey, make sure you have these pieces of equipment. And then I'd have an equipment list on, if you don't have these pieces of equipment, maybe you can buy this mic on Amazon. You can buy this box light. It's super cheap. It's super, affordable, and it gets the job done. Have that list of information. Work with them on what they have and don't have. In terms of the actual recording, what I would do is I would block off on the calendar like a time for them to record, right? So that I can be on standby either on a Google Meet or just have my phone accessible. So that when they're ready to record, I just hop on FaceTime, make sure the framing looks good, make sure the angles look good, and whatever that I need in terms of the avatar is actually up to par of the client, so we don't have to go back and iterate.
You go through your content strategy after that. So that's obviously very personalized. And then in terms of the scripting and stuff like this, are you putting their YouTube videos into Poppy and getting it to extract ideas out for short form? I want to do this. Of course, I follow the news cycle and make like AI short form videos of me explaining like the news. And it's not really like a core part of my content strategy at this moment. But if I was to do it, the main thing I'd be concerned about is how do you make sure it's relevant, it's new, and if the person themselves is not involved in it, how do you like validate that those ideas are good? So the ideation portion, how you managing that?
Once we get like the AI avatar and everything sorted, which is honestly the easiest part, the scripting and ideation is really where most of the revisions happen, right? So it's like each step of the way, we have very clear like quality controlling, right? So it'll be like, hey, we have this is the strategy, right? I mean, the best way to create content is to find what's already worked for other people and already gone viral for them and recreate it with the specific angle of your client, right? So we essentially are like, hey, these are the angles. We've already seen that they've proven to work. Here's how we've rewritten them and scripted them to create it for you. In terms of something like the news, where it's pretty new, that's really just communication, right? Being like, hey, you know, ChatGPT or OpenAI just dropped this brand new tool. Do you want to talk about it? Get their approval, send the script, get a quick check mark, really just tagging them a lot in our client communication groups and being like, hey, we have a new script. Can you please approve it?
Yep.
Over time, as you get to know the client and as they get to trust you more, some of our longer term clients that we've been working for over a year on content, posting for them every day, they like don't even look at anything anymore.
Yeah.
We script it, we generate it, we edit, and we post. And all they do is know that content is being posted. Here and there, they'll get some revisions. So
Yeah.
I would say that's probably the biggest process that we do. And I mean, last thing, analytics, right? Look at the numbers, redesign the strategy. Content is an ever changing thing. So as long as you know what you're doing and trying new things, you're in good hands. Once you figure out all of this, I would say that is really like what will take you to the first 25K. From 25K to 100K, it's what you alluded to earlier, right? Building that productized offer. It's essentially understanding, okay, this is the biggest things that my clients want. These are the biggest problems I've faced. For example, oh, people aren't creating the AI avatars properly, right? I need to come up with some sort of customizable template or repeatable process for them, right? So from 25K to 100K, it's really building this productized offer and templatized system it's a template that's customizable, right? I need this AI video footage, this audio footage. I need these pieces of information about your business so I can come up with a content strategy. And then I have this script, generate, edit, post cycle. And you systemize these operations, right? In terms of marketing, it's really taking that. And at that point, you should probably just focus on building case studies and doing good work for your clients so they refer you to people.
Yep.
Usually it becomes once you hit around that 25K, and I guess I'm speaking from experience, you get good enough at marketing and using the AI clone to where the system is genuinely selling itself. And most of your leads will come from the same system that you are selling to other people. And so as you're building this recurring flywheel through content, you then want to eventually switch to that one call close, right? You know what you're selling because it is a single productized offer. You can now pitch it in a way that it's like you're doing a discovery, right? You're sharing your process, right? This is a little bit of our deck. So it's like, hey, this is the process for the client. This is what you can do. This is what we need from you, right? The required input. And then I like to have this, that's it, right? It's a very low friction process for you as the client to work with us. And the second thing is case studies, right? I like to bombard them with case studies, like to the point where they're like, I'm tired, right? Literally talking about client results, client results, client results, have proof, right? Like have screenshots, have trackers, right? Show as much as possible of what you have done for these clients and make it very clear that they can achieve these results as well. Something I like to do is like with these case studies, I show all the case studies, and before I go to like the pricing, I pretty much I like to be like, I know I bombarded you with all these case studies. Out of everything you saw, which of these results align with you the most and what you're looking for? And they're pretty much selling themselves, right? They're like, oh yeah, I really love that you generated 40 million impressions for this client. Oh, I love that you generated, 50 leads in the first month for this client.
Yeah.
And then they're just selling themselves. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad we can definitely do that for you. Do you mind if we do talk about pricing and deliverables? And then I talk about pricing. I guess super briefly, I'll go into kind of how we do pricing. There's two ways we do it, right? We do like the build out. If someone wants, we literally just build the AI video audio clone, do the done for you strategy, set up like a funnel with ManyChat, and then have hands on support where it's like, we built the clone and built the strategy for you, but we're not going to be posting the content every day or doing the rest of the hands on work. This is more of a downsell for anyone that like wants the system and our support, but doesn't really want or cannot afford yet that monthly management.
Yep.
The done for you is essentially, hey, I'll waive out the entire setup fee if you commit with us for 3 months at 6K per month, pay in full or split. And then we'll post content every single day for you and do the entire process. And so most people will be like, hey, I want to work with you for longer term and just do the done for you. But there's at least the downsell for people that don't. Yeah, that's pretty much how we've been able to get these results. And I think fulfillment, once you hit that 25K, it's like you should have enough experience working with clients to where like you have a clear client portal, right? A place where the client can see at every point in time what part of the process they're in. They have transparent tracking, right? They can see, okay, we're on the setting up the DigiDoppel, which is what we call the AI clone. We're on the content strategy, whatever it may be. Internally, you want to have standard operating procedures, right? That is how you will scale and not hate your life as the business owner, is having clear standard operating procedures. And so you can see how thorough our standard operating procedures are, like client information, right? Client WhatsApp setup. I literally have an SOP on how to name the WhatsApp group because I don't want anything to be out of
Yeah.
order. Maybe I'm a control freak, but I just think it's given me so much
It's
peace of
just
mind.
it's just annoying, bro. It's like you go in there and it's like it's not satisfying. They don't all look this,
Yeah.
Totally agree. That's the
Yeah.
small like how you do anything is how you do everything.
And so it's like, be detailed, be specific. We have like Loom videos that I've created for each of these processes. And you can slowly use that to build a business operating system to organize your own business and how you're scaling. This is mine. It's definitely over complexified because I just like Notion, but
A good notion is very satisfying as well, It's
it
like
is. It is.
part of it. Yeah, so
Yeah. So I think fulfillment, really getting from 25K to 100K, is like, know what is happening over and over again. Know the biggest mistakes and bottlenecks that are occurring from getting your clients results, and systemize that and document that so that you can avoid those mistakes in the future. And I think in the
yeah,
ideal
which
world,
is
as you
helpful, yeah.
grow, you want to hire. Um, this is like an example of what my business looks like right now. So, me at the top, to be genuinely honest, I could disappear from the business for a week and the business would run. And that is genuinely because of the org chart, hiring the right team, and giving them the right training and SOPs to where they can fulfill, right? You want to be respectful to them and give them the right instructions. And so I would say for this sort of offer, you want to have someone that focuses on like marketing strategy and then someone that focus on client success and operations. The marketing director can act as or manage a content strategist, a copywriter, and then an editor. The client success director or product manager can also manage the editor, which is like a key part of this process. The generative creator, which is just our fun term for the person that uses HeyGen. and then the social media manager who actually like goes out, posts the content and the captions. And then the editing is going to be your biggest bottleneck. So you want to have more editors on tap for like freelance. So
Yeah. I mean,
that's
generative creator is kind of
Mhm.
turning into its own thing as well. Like we have like a lot of needs for AI generated like images or videos, and the skill set to get the best out of them is like I could probably get a freelance or like part-time um generative creator on my team as is. So it's an interesting thing that people could slide into there. But yeah, this is really helpful to see how you've got it structured there. What's the also the incentive structure on there? How have you got that set up for? I mean, obviously, if it's coming from the
for
marketing director or the content strategist, whoever's doing that, they're obviously picking the shots. The copywriter's like writing that, and then the editors are kind of sort of executing on that. So, how have you got the like incentive structure for like high performing reels or bonuses and stuff like that?
Yeah. So marketing director and client success director are like the full time, right? They're essentially like they're part of the team. They're handling everything that we need, right? In terms of, I would say, performance, the way we like to do it is if we have certain internal KPIs, right? Just like in terms of content that we want to hit, it's usually a percentage increase, right? Just because content is so all over the place,
Yeah,
it's a fair way of incentivizing. So it's like, let's say month one, we generate like 50,000 views for the content. Next month, if we're able to generate like 150,000 views, then we'll essentially do a bonus percentage that comes from the contract,
yeah,
right? And that's kind of how I like to monetize, because I want to make sure that my team works with me for a long time because I take time to train them. I want them to stick with me. But at the same time, I'm not risking something outside of my margins of what the contract is giving me. So that's
okay,
usually how I operate in terms of
okay.
bonuses
Yeah,
and
that's helpful to know. I know a lot of the short form content stuff is very heavily incentivized by various performance based things. So that's good to know. Mate, that's been freaking awesome. I think if anyone has has any questions on that, they can chuck this into this transcript into ChatGPT and ask some more questions. But everything's there, guys. Like I said at the start, this thing is still really, really untapped and honestly underhyped, in my opinion. I think because of how these rolled out, and everyone's like, oh, okay, they're not really where they need to be to have a strong like business use. But with anything, if you show up if you aim to show up right when things get good, then you're going to be behind. Right? Like you've been doing this for, like, at some point you got to be early. And if you are never willing to commit to being early and like dealing with stuff when it's a little bit thorny, or maybe it's not super clearly, the market's not super defined, like until you can do that, you're never going to be able to get like the massive results and growth you want out of your career. Like you
yeah,
have to be early at some point. You have to take a bet on something and be the one who's been there from in the trenches when like in the AI guys who were doing it like a decade ago and even longer ago, putting in the work now and getting familiar with it. You can say the same thing for like AI agent workforces and multi-agent workflows and all of these things that are still very like cutting edge right now. It's like, would you rather get in it now, sort of have fun with it and see what you can do with it as is? And then when it does, the sort of technology has those unlocks that we're waiting for, you're right there on the sidelines ready to go and start applying it and making money with it. So I really appreciate you coming on to reveal this, bro. And obviously, massive congrats on your success because it's obviously been very well deserved.
and I'd also say, I'll be in the comment section if people have questions, because I know there's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy to answer. And it's like Liam said. I mean, we just dropped everything. Like, we dropped all the sauce. You have no excuse to leverage this and build the business from it. So
The next step from here would be find some tutorials on YouTube and search up how to use HeyGen to create short form. Like people have like innate in automation templates out on the stuff that you can probably get for free. Like all of the information is out there, guys. It's literally you put if you looked at the hard work that Harsh had to put in here with like refining the offer, building the Notion and SOPs out, like maybe you just aren't willing to do that. And if it is that, then that's fine. But like let's be honest about it. Don't blame it on the tech, don't blame it on the strategy. All the information is out there. You've just got it like injected into your brain over this past hour. So there's no excuse now. You either want it or you don't.
even on my own YouTube, like, I've given away the entire process because I want to work with like high ticket businesses, right? Seven,
Yeah.
8 figure companies. They'll pay me for it. But I think anyone else that's a beginner entry level, I want to make it accessible for them. And I think it's definitely following like the same path that you did of like, let's have more businesses win. Like,
Yeah.
why gatekeep? So
When you realize as an agency, it is like physically impossible for you to like take this whole market yourself. Like
Yeah.
this is like this. If I found something that's working, I can keep doing it for my clients. I can also like either build a SaaS tool around it, or I can like, how can I take this thing that I've learned that is getting good results for businesses? Well, I can teach other people how to do it. I can build a tool around it. It's like, it doesn't make sense to just like place all of your bets on trying to scale to the whole freaking moon and back with this kind of offer. But yeah, mate, really appreciate it. Massive congrats on your success, and I'll leave all your links down in the description if you want to check out your channel, your agency, and your LinkedIn and so on. But yeah, great to chat, bro, and hope to have you back on soon.
100%. Appreciate it, man.
All right, so that is the complete breakdown on how to build a profitable AI avatar agency in 2026. And look, you just got the entire blueprint, the offer structure, the monetization model, the fulfillment mechanisms, everything. You can absolutely take this information and implement it for yourself. Go learn the tools, start reaching out to your network, build your first case study, and start closing clients. But here's the reality. You can either spend the next 6 to 12 months figuring this out through trial and error, brute force, and dealing with all the mistakes, or you can skip straight to the results by working with someone who's already done it. So if you're serious about building this business and you want to hit your first 10K month within the first 90 days, click the first link in the description below to apply for my one-on-one mentorship. Look, I'm not throwing a course at you. I'm personally working with you to craft your offer, get your first clients, and build the systems that scale. And since this is actually one-on-one and not a massive coaching program, I can only take on 1 to 2 more people right now because I'm still running my own agency. So if you're ready and committed to take action and want to actually put effort toward building this system and skip the trial and error, click the link below and I would love to hop on a call to see if you're a good fit. And regardless, if you got value from this video, make sure to subscribe because I'm posting content every single week on how to build and scale your AI avatar agency. And if you have questions on any part of this video or part of the process, drop a comment below because I will answer every single one of them. But thank you for watching, and as always, take care.